Notice that Jehoiada the priest gave the young King Joash the testimony. What was this testimony? In our last segment on this subject, we saw that in 885 BC, Athaliah usurped the throne of Judah after Ahaziah had died, and she reigned as queen over Judah for 6 years. Athaliah attempted to kill the entire royal line, all of the male descendants of King David. She succeeded in killing all but one. The Lord used 2 people to preserve the royal line of David. One was Jehoshabah, a sister of the recently deceased King Ahaziah. The other person God used to preserve the royal line was Jehoiada, the chief priest in charge of Solomon's temple. Jehoshabah and Jehoiada preserved Joash, the infant son of the recently deceased King Ahaziah, and Joash was hidden in Solomon's temple for 7 years, so that he was not killed, and the royal line of David was preserved. We read in 2 Kings chapters 11 and 12 and 2 Chronicles chapters 23 and 24 that the godly high priest Jehoiada exerted a strong spiritual influence on Joash during all but the last year of his long 40-year reign. Jehoiada was responsible for organizing the concealment and protection of the young Joash during the years of Athaliah's illegal reign. Jehoiada arranged for contingents of soldiers to guard the young boy Joash and Solomon's temple in 3 shifts. In 2 Kings chapter 11, beginning at verse 10, we read that this military escort surrounded the boy Joash when Jehoiada brought out the king's son, put the crown on him, and gave him the testimony. They made him king and anointed him, and they clapped their hands and said, "Long live the king." We read in Exodus chapter 25, verse 21, that God commanded Moses to place what he called the testimony in the Ark of the Covenant, in the Holy of Holies of the tabernacle. God, through Moses, commanded that each king of Israel was to make his own copy of the testimony, the Mosaic Law. Also it shall be when he, that is, any new king, sits on the throne of his kingdom, that he shall write for himself a copy of this law, in other words, this testimony, in a book, from the one that is before the priests, the Levites. And it shall be with him, and he shall read it all the days of his life, that he may learn to fear the Lord his God, and be careful to observe all the words of this law and these statutes,